So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second module of this masterclass in which we're going to be discussing everything regarding gear. Now, a small side note before we start with this lesson, I am a huge geek regarding gear. I love setting up my space. I love creating like a home studio. I've done this multiple times in pretty much every single location that I've been creating content, right? And again, we're going to be covering everything in this second module, from software, hardware, the best value for money options, and of course, the one-stop destination if you just want like the best value for money option without spending a single dollar for gear, which is obviously your smartphone. So I'm very happy to have you here. Let's dive into this first introductory lesson on how you should utilize gear and how you should approach this gear thing. So the gear and the tools. I want you to know that gear is a never-ending loop. If you enter this loophole of purchasing gear and researching gear, what is the best gear, where's the best value for money options, that stuff, it never stops, okay? It literally never stops. To give you an example, this is the first video of Mr. Beast. You probably know Mr. Beast, like you obviously know Mr. Beast. He's the most famous YouTuber, the most subscribed YouTuber. This is his first video, and he shot it with his smartphone. Now, back in the day also, like in 2015, I think, where like the quality of smartphones was very, very bad. And that's the production, the cameras that Mr. Beast had in his latest game show, which is Beast Games. And you probably don't know these cameras. These are, I think they're called Arri Alexas. And each one of these cameras costs about $50,000 or even more. Those are cinema cameras. And he has more than 40, 50 of them, right? Gear never stops, all right? At the end of the day, I want you to know that what gear is, it's pretty much the tools that aim to assist you with the production process. And keyword here is assist. You want gear to assist you, not prevent you from producing. Because I want you to imagine how easy it is to pick up your smartphone and start recording, and how much of a hustle it would be for you to have a camera and don't know how to use a camera and everything is out of focus, and you got to set up the microphone and you got to set up the lights, you don't know where to set up the lights and all that stuff. So sometimes I just want you to know that simple is the best. Keep it simple, focus on creating, and don't focus on crazy gear if you don't want to. If you're a geek like me, absolutely do that. But do not worry, I'm going to have a guide for you to just approach this in the best way possible coming up. Now, the two major categories of gear is production gear and post-production gear. Production obviously refers to the production of the video, from sitting down to recording, that's production. And post-production is editing, pretty much. Now, in both of these cases, both production and post-production is subdivided into hardware and software. So we have production hardware, production software, post-production hardware, and post-production software. And we're going to be diving into all of the options and the best value for money options again in future lessons. Now, I want you to know that everything, production hardware, cameras, externals, production software, screen recording options, post-production software, video editing options, post-production hardware like computers, all that stuff can be replaced by your phone. All right. So if you do not want to dive deeper into this gear thing, a smartphone would work. What you need to understand is some lighting principles that are very important. We're going to be discussing later on. Lighting is extremely important, and it's actually way more preferable for you to understand how to light a scene rather than purchase a $2,000 camera. Trust me, invest in knowledge on how to manipulate light and how to light up a scene rather than just dumping money on a camera setup. So let's start by just outlining briefly the production gear and post-production gear. And then in future lessons, again, we're going to be diving deeper into this. So again, to be very simple with this, production gear is subdivided into hardware, and production hardware is anything that has a camera, right? It can be obviously your smartphone. It can be a DSLR camera, this one, those bigger cameras. And it also can be like the best of both worlds, which is this kind of action camera from DJI, which is the DJI Osmo Pocket. Now, everything is completely automated in your phone, and you can have like an amazing result with your phone. Everything is manual in a camera, so you can, again, by default, the video that you're going to get from a camera is going to be worse than a video from your phone, because again, from your phone, everything is amazingly color corrected. You just press record and you start recording. But with a camera, you actually get to tweak all of the parameters. So if you have the correct knowledge on how to use a camera, you can actually have a better image than your phone and a better organic image than your phone, which again refers to people that are interested in learning how to use a video camera. By the way, it's not that hard to use a video camera, to set the record straight, that I can teach you. Now, The Osmo, it's just the best of both worlds. It's like a vlogging camera. It's very straightforward. It has a built-in gimbal. And again, you open it and you start recording. I put this as an example because it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's not exactly a smartphone. It's not exactly a camera. It's not that manual, but it's not that automated as the video that comes out from your camera. Now, again, this is the hardware of production. Now let's move again to the hardware, the second part, which are the externals. So what happens around your camera? What you're absolutely going to be needing at some point is a tripod, like something to stabilize your phone, your camera, and this would really be very important for you to have a tripod. Those are very cheap. You can buy them from Amazon, and I'm going to give you like some tips on how to purchase a tripod and like what to do with your tripods and stuff. Now, I had my tripod for more than, I think, 8 years. It has never failed me. I absolutely love this tripod of mine. And again, it's just a one-time purchase that's really going to be elevating your production value. Now, the second external that you need to have is some kind of storage, some sort of storage. Now, again, the iPhone itself has built-in storage, and this is why I also added the iPhone or a smartphone in this slide right here, because we have built-in storage. You can be storing your footage and your files in your iPhone. That being said, at some point, you will need to like store your footage and all the videos that you have in an external drive. It's just easier, and also you're going to have a file sorting problem if you keep storing your files on the iPhone. That's why when we use a camera or a small camera like the DJI Osmo, for example, you have an SD card, you take this SD card, you import it in your computer, you import the files to your computer, and you save them in an external hard drive. So you're probably going to be needing an SD card and an external hard drive if you're not using your phone. If you're using your phone, you need to find a way to sort files and to save files. Do not delete files. That's like a golden rule that we have in content creation. Now, another external that you're going to need regarding production hardware is batteries. So always you're going to need batteries to run your cameras, to run your microphones, to run everything. Your phone has a built-in battery. That's why I added it in this slide right here. And you can add, again, more batteries to your cameras and all that stuff. You can purchase external batteries, or you can purchase a dummy battery, which is pretty much a battery that goes to the camera and then connects to a plug on the wall, so you don't need to always change the batteries and stuff if you have a setup like mine. And I'm gonna give you like a tour guide, a tour on my setup. It's absolutely amazing. So then we're moving into the lights. Now, regarding lighting, I want you to know that if you don't want to mess with understanding lighting principles and how to light up a scene and all that stuff, just use sunlight. Sunlight is the absolutely best light that you can use. It lights up every scene perfectly, especially if it's a bit cloudy and the clouds act as diffusion in the sky. This would be even better. Now, if you want, you can invest and purchase one of these professional lights, and I'm going to show you different options of lights to purchase and get in future lessons. And if you're just using your phone, you can use a ring light. Again, it's not the best option to light yourself with a ring light. I'm not a huge fan of ring lights, honestly, and because they also, let's say, respond to a category of creators that are not that professional and don't know exactly like how to light up a scene. Trust me, use external sunlight if you don't want to invest in a light. Now, the final external that we need absolutely to discuss is, of course, audio. Now, I want you to remember that in content creation, audio is more important than image. People will sit around in general and watch a video that has amazing audio and bad image quality, but they will not sit around and watch a video that has like very good image quality and bad audio. So I want you to remember that investing in amazing audio is one of the best way to retain your audience. And at the end of the day, audience retention in content creation is the best way to find success. We discussed this when we analyzed different platforms, right? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. When we analyzed these algorithms, we concluded pretty much every single time that if you manage to retain the audience, then you will find success. And you will see, and you probably have seen if you consume short form content, that in these TikTok videos, many times these videos are actually shot with an iPhone. There's no problem with that. But people are holding a microphone because for some reason, humans are stimulated by the voice of other people and they stick around in a video that's like ASMR-y and just has amazing audio. Now, audio options, of course, you can use the audio in your smartphone. You can buy an external microphone or you can purchase one of these microphones. And we're going to be diving again in more detail into microphones in later lessons. Now let's move into screen recording software, which is pretty much the software part of the production. Now, these are software that will help you record video. And when we're recording video with software, we're probably already like only referring to screen recording. Now you can screen record the screen of your iPhone, or you can use other screen recording options for your computer. Some free screen recording options is VLC, for example, QuickTime Player. You can also use OBS, so Open Broadcasting Studio, OBS stands for Open Broadcasting Studio, and it's completely free for both Windows and Mac. And you can also use Camtasia. This is my screen recording software of choice. I use Camtasia. I love Camtasia. I've paid for it. It's not free. But again, if you want to demonstrate something, you can obviously also screen record like the screen of your phone. Now moving to post-production, in general, the hardware of post-production is very straightforward. You're going to be needing some kind of computer, right? A MacBook or a PC. Of course, you can just have your phone and edit the videos from your phone. I'm just saying that having a computer, having a PC, it's kind of important if you're taking this content creation thing seriously. Now, regarding the software of post-production, this is just video editing software. That's pretty much it. And again, you can edit videos from your phone. That's why I also have the phone right here. You can use iMovie, or you can use CapCut, which is an amazing, completely free option for you to, again, edit videos from your phone. I have colleagues of mine, I have friends of mine that use CapCut and edit videos with CapCut, and they have generated, I'd say, multiple views, thousands of dollars just from editing completely free videos in CapCut. And you can also, I think you can purchase like a premium version of CapCut, which just gives you more flexibility and more options. If you have a PC, you're a PC user, the best premium video editing software for you to use is Premiere Pro. It is part of Adobe, and Adobe is like a very widely known software in the space of content creation. If you have a MacBook, I would 100% say that you should download Final Cut Pro. This is the video editing software of choice. In my case, I edit my videos in Final Cut Pro. I've been doing this for more than 6 years now. I absolutely love Final Cut Pro. And if you want a free option for MacBook, you can use iMovie, right? So a free option for example, PC users would be CapCut, because CapCut is also available on desktop, right? You can also access it if you have a Mac, by the way. So if you have a Mac, premium version of video editing software would be Final Cut Pro, and the free version would be either iMovie or CapCut. If you have a PC, you can use Premiere Pro as a premium version of your editing software, and CapCut if you want a free version. Now, that concludes the first introductory lesson around gear. I want you to stick around, because in the next lessons, we're diving a bit deeper. And again, I'm not only showing you sophisticated ways to construct your studio and create like an amazing content with the best value for money gear, but I'm also going to be showing you free ways to just elevate your production value without needing to spend thousands of dollars on gear. Because trust me, it can get very expensive if you don't have the correct guidance, and that's why you're here, to have the correct guidance, right? So I'm going to see you in the next lesson of this course.